Hey guys, yeah, I'm gonna do this real quickly, but last night, one of the last videos I did before, I decided to upload them onto YouTube, um, was basically a wrestling discussion where I basically said the consistency and variety is the key for WWE, mostly NXT and AEW, to really get a foothold and get people invested. And it seems, ironically, that last night was a step in the right direction for both brands, for both companies. But the other thing that I mentioned was the fact that a lot of people, because of the way wrestling is, the shape that wrestling is in right now, and such, that a lot of fans, ironically, would rather watch people uh, put on what is known as the CAW leagues, the Curated Wrestling Leagues, courtesy of games like the WWE 2K series, probably more preferably 2K19 over what we have right now with 2K20, or the recent Fire Pro Wrestling and others. People would rather watch those kinds of wrestling shows over what WWE and AEW have right now. I mean, last night was a step in the right direction for WWE's NXT brand, and a step in the right direction for AEW, becoming more than just, as Jim Ross put it, flips and kicks. So, it was a step in the right direction, don't get me wrong. It was a step in the right direction. But when it comes to, let's say, Raw and SmackDown, as far as WWE is concerned, people would rather watch an hour and a half or 2 hour CAW League show over Raw or SmackDown because there's not any consistency or variety. Some would say you get more consistency with what, let's say, CAW Champions League, CAW Champions League, CCL, puts on with the adrenaline shows, the pulse shows, the supernova shows, the Queen of the Rings, the anniversary shows, stuff like that. The same with Destiny Championship Alliance, DCA. People feel that you get more consistency and variety out of those. Heck, even my league and a friend of mine online league, my league, DCWA, which is Downloadable CAW Wrestling Association, and my friend's league, which is ANDW, Anime Nintendo Disney Wrestling. People feel you get more variety with that stuff, with those shows, in those leagues, than what you do with WWE in the Raw and SmackDown shows right now. And if they don't keep up the momentum that they gained from last night, as well as AEW keeps up that momentum too, basically they'd rather watch those CAW shows over that. Because yes, they can watch it on demand. They could watch it at any time later on, just to see if perhaps they are learning, they're getting better. But the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this. With the exception of 2K20, until things get better, people would rather prefer watching a CAW league, courtesy of the WWE 2K series, like 2K19, and even prior to that, 2K18, but mostly 2K19 has more variety, and the Fire Pro series over what WWE has to offer with Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT if they don't keep up the momentum, as well as what AEW has to offer when it comes to Dynamite and AEW Dark, unless they keep up the momentum that both shows gained from last night. But the question remains. But the question is, can AEW What else was that? Like I was saying, the question is, can AEW and NXT keep up that momentum? And hopefully, maybe for WWE, can NXT's momentum, you know, continue on and maybe infect and inspire those at SmackDown and Raw to pick up the slack? Because you you think Raw and SmackDown's ratings are down because of other programming, not the numbers they should be, because of, let's say, Monday Night Football or other Friday night programming? No, it's not because of that. It's not because of that. What it is, it's not. Well, it's not just what I'm trying to say. It's not just probably because of that. It's probably not just because of that, but it's mainly also because when you think about it, and if you look on YouTube and Twitch, people would rather be watching, a live stream or video captured upload of a CAW show from someone's league over what Raw and SmackDown and sometimes NXT and even AEW has to offer, because there is no because there isn't any straightforward consistency and variety. Again, like I said, NXT and AEW seem to finally get into that group. We're finally able to turn on that switch and flip that switch on and get into that groove that they needed to get into for the past, several weeks, to really try to prove who's the better show and the better brand. And Raw and SmackDown, hopefully NXT's momentum can, like I say, infect Raw and SmackDown, and they can get better. Because I'm telling you, people would rather watch an hour and a half of CCL Adrenaline or DCA Takedown or ACW Anime Championship Wrestling Excel over what Raw and SmackDown has to offer. They'd rather watch a DCWA Women of Honor show or DCWA Thunder show over what Raw, SmackDown, at times NXT and AEW has to offer. They'd rather watch my friend's weekly or bi-weekly shows from ANDW. The point is, right now what I'm trying to say, because I'm doing this quickly and on the fly and unscripted, the point is we are at a position right now as far as wrestling is concerned to where people would rather watch curated wrestling leagues courtesy of video games like the WWE 2K series or the Fire Pro series over what the actual product has to offer, because with the exception of last night, a majority of the time there isn't any vast consistency or variety. But hopefully NXT and AEW have finally found that groove that they needed and flipped on that switch that they needed to flip on to do that, to provide that. Like I said, hopefully they've been able to turn that switch on both sides of the fence to get people's attention on their product. Because when you think about it, if people see how good NXT is and they find out, oh, it's a WWE thing, they may chance checking out SmackDown and Raw to see if maybe that momentum that NXT has gained will continue, will infect those programs, those shows, and go from and see if maybe they could be just as good, if not better. The point is right now, but the point is, and the sad truth is, even with the momentum and both companies turning on that switch finally to get in that groove that they've been needing to get into, until they continuously get into that groove, people are still going to wonder whether or not they're going to get the shows they've been wanting, or in the end, what's going to happen, or is it just going to be as before? And this past week, this last Wednesday, was just a shot in the dark, if you will, just a roll of the dice. Who knows? Because if they don't kind of change up a little bit, they don't change up, people are going to prefer seeing a CAW show over even the two hottest brands and wrestling products right now in wrestling, NXT and AEW. So yeah, that's basically how bad wrestling has gotten, not just from a Raw and SmackDown perspective, but overall in general, even with NXT and AEW, to the point that people would rather watch, they'd rather watch others, other people's CAW leagues, the created wrestling leagues, courtesy of game series like the WWE 2K and the Fire Pro series, over what the actual product, the real actual product has to offer. Because to people, to those wrestling fans, the CAW leagues provide what is needed. They show what is needed. They give you that vast consistency and variety that is needed. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up because to me, maybe I'm the only one, but I seem to notice that, and I seem to notice that in my opinion, because there isn't a Monday or a Friday sometimes, or even in the past a Monday or a Tuesday, where people weren't uploading those CAW shows almost before or around the time of Raw or SmackDown would air, and now you see it more so with Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Probably less on Wednesdays now, if that momentum is kept going by AEW and NXT that they found and flipped on last night. So we'll just have to wait. So we'll just have to wait and see, because if they don't keep up that momentum, people are going to prefer watching CAW leagues on Wednesdays more so than their shows, just as they prefer watching CAW leagues on Mondays and Fridays over Raw and SmackDown. But again, I just thought I'd get that off my chest. I know it sounds surprising, but you know what? Again, maybe I'm the only one, maybe I'm not. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've noticed that too. Comment down below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I got to get back into work, and I'll talk to y'all later.